14,400-pound Road Warrior 415 that is incredibly well kept here at Hauler12ft of Coldwater, Michigan. Just landed. Basically, guys, this is how you wish all used RVs were kept. It just got to be too big for the folks that owned it. They swapped it out for a motorhome so they could just hit the road and travel a little more easily. It's the only reason she's here. This is not going to last long. Now, one of the first questions I always like to ask with a toy hauler is, what can you put in it? And with this being wide body and with a 12-foot garage, the short answer is most anything you want. Now, this does have a classic dovetail tool chest section right here. So this is a good place to keep like extra wheel chocks and stuff like that, or obviously, you know, tools as the name might imply. And being dovetail, that also implies easier for loading. You can see there's D-rings all the way up to the front wall. Previous owners also added a bunch of very little but very nice things. They never did any major, you know, reconstruction or anything like that, but you can see like the little screen door handle on there so you can close the door. I do like the nice pass-through door to get up to the living area, and I also love all the glass back here. Between that 3 Seasons door sliding wall thing that we have already walked past, all the windows here, and then your half bath. This is a stud garage is what this is. Our half bath here, you notice one thing, how there is a step up into it. When you leave the garage area and you move up to the main deck, as it were, you're actually gaining more insulation through the floor because they can build the floor thicker and heavier since it's not enclosing a fuel cell. Half bath does have a nice little porcelain foot flush stool there. There are TV hookups on the wall. You can see that there are no holes in the wall, so you're not inheriting someone else's screw holes or anything like that. And of course, we have the Happy Jack power queen bed above with the dual rollover sofas below. So that thing can come down to create a neat little daytime seating arrangement. Or you could frankly drop them both and use this thing as an alternative bunkhouse. But what really one of the best parts of the Road Warrior or Cyclone, because they're the same thing just under a different name, is that they have just a very nice living area and they just happen to have a garage off the back. Now, like I said, this is incredibly clean and well kept, but it's also very unconventional, and I kind of like that. I see so many of the same things built the same way all day, every day, that when I see something that dares to be different, it just speaks to me very quickly. Now, you see the little, you know, post mounts in the floor there for some removable dining tables. All the posts and all the hardware and everything like that, they are present and accounted for. There's more of those removable post things in the garage area. I just didn't mention that back there. Now, being extra tall, we've got huge windows. And like I said, a very unconventional layout. But a toy hauler's not a conventional fifth wheel, so why should it have a conventional layout? That's what I kind of like about this. Now, the TV is currently, you know, facing straight forward. So the good news, though, is that it does pivot out to face this, like, wrap-around mega party couch right here. And what's kind of cool, guys, is you see this little section of it right here. It looks like that's actually sort of mounted as, like, part of the slide, effectively. So when you get to your destination, if you don't want to pivot the TV out, you could sit over here in the little L-shaped napping lounge area, and boo-bam, you got yourself some sweet entertainment and good cross breeze in those extra tall slide windows. Now, this is made in the black on black sort of phase of toy hauler design. And down below, it might be a little hard to see, you do have an electric space heater here, but you've also got all kinds of shelves to expand your entertainment. Now, the kitchen is very different. Very cool. Now, if you're not into these little flowery things, that's not a factory painted on item. That's just something looks like somebody decorated with. Those could pop off, no sweat. You never know they were even there. But I love the very uncommon way this is laid out. Now, this whole thing, you know, the whole kitchen is basically in the slide out. So it's just very different in the way that it works, and it gives you a really interesting amount of storage and prep space. So you walk in, and this is sort of like a serving station. I almost feel like walking up and placing an order. I'll take 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer, please. Now, you get around the backside, and here's where it becomes, like, the shape of it starts to really go, oh, yeah, just a traditional sort of kitchen arrangement right here. Good drawer space, good cabinet space. We've got a Max Air vent fan above, and this is a, oh man, is that a 18 cubic foot, maybe 12 cubic? I don't know. That's a big gas electric refrigerator right there. Now, we do have a loft above. It's a interestingly shaped, sort of like 3/4 loft. Now, it'll sleep some kids just fine. So that's what's neat about this too. You can easily sleep 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in here. And if I get up here, you can see that it doesn't really look like this was used for sleeping a whole heck of a lot. All the cushions and everything look great up there. Now you notice that is a power vent fan up there as well for airflow. They have their own window, which also opens for airflow. And then down here, this is pretty cool. This right here, the ladder is actually built onto the pantry door. So it's very easy to have the ladder there when you need it, but it's also very easy to get the ladder out of the way when you don't. And then just the shape and the character of everything. Nothing is flat. Nothing is boring in here. Every single aspect of this RV has some sort of curvature, shape, flair, class, style. It's never boring. This is a fun one to actually get into and look around and talk about. Again, I like that they're not the same boring thing there always was. So, again, the people who own this, it was just the two of them. They didn't need this absurdly amazing wraparound party sofa right here. But maybe you do. Maybe that'll work out for you, you know. Now that big square box right there next to that decorative vertical thing, that is your command center. It's easy to access, but you know, it's also hidden away from general sight, so it's not ugly or anything. Central vacuum cleaner right here. And what's also kind of cool, guys, is like your main walkway from the entry area through the kitchen back to the garage, that's all carpetless. Now we do have a dual entry bed bath arrangement, which makes for very easy come and go, very traveling friendly, very guest friendly, because no one loses privacy. The shower has recessed plumbing, as most fifth wheels tend to in the upper deck, which means that this is a very tall person friendly shower. And you can see that porcelain foot flush stool there with just plenty of leg room to be able to get in here, get dressed, do whatever you got to do. Up here in the bedroom, we do have a 60 by 80 queen bed, and the previous owners looks like they did add a second air conditioner after this was originally built. So this does have a dual AC thing going on. The windows on each side of the bed do open for airflow. And we've got that full wide body front closet up here. Now, most of the time in today's day and age, when you see a front bedroom closet, you're expecting doors here for washer dryer prep. The good news is the washer dryer prep is still there. It's just around the corner. Now you can see they also threw a TV up here in the bedroom, and that's just kind of nylon buckle strapped in place for transit, but it can also swing out to face the bed. And why not finish it off with a decent amount of dresser space? Because at this point, what's the sense in cutting corners? Another thing I want to note, because it's hard to see once again, it's kind of black on black, but there are CPAP, or power outlets that you could use for CPAPs or heated blankets or whatnot right up there next to the bed slide as well. And I don't know what was kept better, the outside or the inside, because overall this thing has just been beautifully well kept. You can see there's no fading, there's no peeling stickers, there's no like odd sun discoloration, there's no toad skinning or delamination or anything like that. She's looking good. Thick, heavily insulated baggage doors with nice slam latches. Toy haulers often struggle to have good, spacious pass-through compartments, and maybe it's not as big as like a Jayco, Pinnacle, or North Point, or Montana or something like that, but I think this is going to be plenty enough to get you through an extended period. You do have outside TV hookups in there, and I also like that other than the little side chest areas, like it's not carpeted down in there. Now this does have the Onan 5500 generator built right in, so if you are going to go off-grid, she is going to be very off-grid friendly. Let's see here. We've got hydraulic front landing gear, so that thing will, the leveling aspects, a lot of people don't realize you actually level front to back with your front jacks. That'll all happen very quickly and easily here. And it's a wide body chassis for stability, which is something that some toy haulers, especially at the time this was built, were not doing. So that's a key thing here. The oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, 100-inch wide body to go along with that chassis. So, makes sense. If you got a bigger chassis, you have a bigger body. Over here, this is kind of one of the things that really helped build Heartland. Heartland, to a very large degree, is a company that really staked their claim on having tighter turning radiuses on fifth wheels and privatized docking stations, where so many other brands just lack those features. And it's funny because in today's day and age, those are such commonplace features, but at the time this was made, a lot of brands had still just not figured it out, I guess. Tires. How about 6 Goodyear radials all the way around this thing? I don't know, but I don't believe these are the original factory tires. They are darn good looking. No signs of odd wear, weather checking, or anything like that. And we have a Dexter suspension system here. You can see that rubber shock dampener in there. What that thing's doing is, as the trailer wants to rock forward and back and forth, it will help soak up a lot of that. Passing our fueling station over here, and this does have a removable side mount ladder. Now, I did not put that on the side, I'm suddenly realizing, which makes me think either they left that on here and drove here, or, I don't know, maybe somebody else got on the roof and already took a look at it. This was one of the first years where the patio party decks had really finally started to become available, and it looks like they took care of this thing. Looks like it's working like a charm. One of the things I liked about this version of the patio gate system is that it's very quick to set up. You just fold the gates up, open the rear section like so, and you're done. You don't necessarily have to repin everything. Now, this does have a large side patio awning, but you might notice above that rear patio party deck, you do have a additional dedicated awning in that area as well. And as long as we're going this far, I figured we might as well finish up the job, let you see how the back cover looks with the ramp closed up. You can see there's no, digs, scars, bashes, none of that back there. Everything looks pretty darn good. Power rear stabilizer jacks. This was made a little bit before the auto leveling thing kind of just happened in the business. The awning, you can see, does go over the slide. Sometimes people have kind of a heart attack over something like that, but keep in mind, that's a shallow slide, and that's like a 10-foot deep awning. So you've got about 8.5 foot of space left there, plus you have the full awning space in the non-slide areas. Another thing that people kind of get spooked about, I think is a good word, is a triaxle. And the reason that's there is to help manage and disperse the load weight of this RV, especially not when it's empty, but when it is loaded. And what that'll do for you is really provide a lot smoother towing once you get on the road, once you get going, because this is a fairly good sized rig. That's the whole reason they traded in. It was just more than the two of them needed. So the triaxle aspect, like they could have put heavier axles and a tandem on here, but it wouldn't handle as well going down the road. So there you have it, guys. Overall, very well kept used toy hauler. First of all, finding used toy haulers out there is about as rare as hen's teeth, as my boss here likes to say sometimes. But the point is, they're hard to find, and when they're in great condition like this, my recommendation is call first to make sure it's here. You might want to put a hold on it before you come to see it, because I've seen things happen in the drive time to come see something like this. These go quickly. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.